I just read Matthew Walker, Why We Sleep, and devoured all of his content online. The Joe Rogan podcast is highly recommended. And I was thinking, wow, this sleep thing seems to be a bit of a hack, and we've all got shit sleep. Like, what happens if we actually optimize our sleep? So, actually, I did get more into Matthew Walker about 2 years ago, and I started implementing all of these things. I also had a bodybuilding coach, Derek Dolgner, who helped me implement a lot of these things. And he broke it down into three very simple steps for your sleep. So before we get into those three steps, I want to talk to you about the three stages of sleep that Matthew Walker so eloquently describes in his book. So there's three different phases of sleep. There's deep sleep, there's light sleep, and there's REM sleep. When we first go to sleep, we fall into a deep sleep. Now, if you're staying up too late, you kind of miss out on a bit of deep sleep. So that will be important in the future. So the first stage in deep sleep, imagine there is a halfway house inside your brain. It's in the hippocampus, and mail and information and goodies get sent into this halfway house. Now, if we don't get enough deep sleep, there's not enough time for people and the cars in the halfway house to drive out to more permanent locations. So when you're in deep sleep, there's like cars that are getting sent out from the hippocampus, and they're going to more permanent places in the brain so that it's going to remember, it's going to stay in there. Okay, the second thing, when you have light sleep, it's making room to learn. So they're sweeping around the floors. It's like the cleaning lady. I saw at the gym, instead of cleaners, they're called the presentation team. So the presentation team comes up in your brain and says, what's fucking useless here? What's the shit? And they start clearing out. They any sort of neural networks that they're like, yeah, you don't need that. We'll just get rid of it for you. Okay, sweet. REM sleep, which stands for rapid eye movement. Your eyes go crazy in REM sleep. I don't know. Why do your eyes do that? Is it because your brain's like working away? I don't know. I'm going to look into that. This is the most important. So, well, in my humble opinion, the most important, because when you're in REM sleep is when you dream. When we dream, we are dealing with our fears and fantasies and our emotions and our past perceptions. When you dream, and it's an exploration through your subconscious mind. That's why Carl Jung, I'm obsessed with Carl Jung and dream analysis. Because when you sleep, you have REM sleep, you go through your subconscious, which is all your stored, imbalanced perceptions, which is, your fears and fantasies and things, anxieties, all of that kind of crazy shit. And we go through them, and it's almost like we face our fears during the night so that we can wake up and we can be rested, and we go, oh, it wasn't a big deal getting in the elevator yesterday. Cool. My brain kind of dealt with that. But the problem with so many emotional things that we hold on to is we don't really get enough sleep, and the sleep isn't powerful enough to kind of overcome those emotional traumas. Eventually it will, but the problem is, as we're getting over that, we're stacking more fucking shit on top of it, right? So what do we do? Well, most people have shit sleep because they're living uninspired lives where they're distracted, and they get more fulfillment out of scrolling their phone at night and watching Netflix. Guilty. Hi, my name's Mitch. I've done that for years. I go up at night, not really tired. I'm going to watch some Netflix. I'm going to watch some porn. I'm just going to stay up and play video games, right? And we do it because we're subordinating to mothers, fathers, preachers, teachers from the group for an individual, someone that we think is better than us, and we putting their word above ours. We're putting ourselves down, and we're just the fucking zombie that's not even ourselves. So what's the point of living? Because I'm not even enjoying it. Might as well get some instant gratification and watch some fucking Netflix before I go to bed. Might as well have a glass of wine. Might as well smoke the fucking blunt. Might as well go out and party. Might as well spend all my money on fucking whatever, right? on clothes. So we're not doing ourselves any favors. So I want to create a disclaimer here is like, if you're living an uninspired life, you're not pursuing challenges that you love, sleep's going to help. But I think to get to the root cause of it is like focusing on your values, the things that you find intrinsically inspired to you, the things that you see clearly, the things that you want to make a difference towards, the things that you light you up and light your soul up, and things that, goals that you just you can't wait to get up and get after. And if you start breaking down your big goals into small itty bitty bites and just setting yourself those priorities throughout the day, not only are you going to have more energy throughout the day, your brain waves going to be firing at a higher level. But when you go to sleep, there's something called sleep pressure. So when we have a hard day, when the day tests us, the night will rest us. The more we test ourselves during the day, the more the night will rest us. Not only are we firing our brain at a higher level during the day, but at night when we're learning, your brain's like, oh my God, what a fucking awesome day. I'm gonna send out all the things that we learned. I'm gonna clear all the bad stuff out. Wow, we didn't even deal with so many emotions today because we were so resilient and productive and focused. Awesome. You don't even need that much sleep tonight. Wow. Or maybe we'll clear up some more emotions, right? So REM sleep tells me, so on a good, my goal at the moment is to achieve 4 hours of sleep a night. That's it. I just 4 every night. So at the moment, I do about probably 50% of the time in the last month or whatever. I'll try on a good week. I'll do 5 or 6 days in a week of 4 hours of sleep. Now, granted, I do sometimes have a nap during the day, or sometimes I will get in bed like an hour early. So it's like 4 or 5. But when I'm focused, when I'm inspired, when I'm doing my meditation, when I'm stretching, and when I'm eating well, and when I'm just really focused and just loving it, your brain isn't as, my brain, for me, this anecdote, isn't as crazy. And I'm so just focused. I can go, and I can just sleep. I can just like fucking literally 30 minutes ago, I was laying out listening to an audio book, a lecture in the sun because it's a beautiful day. I felt the warm heat of the sun coming down on me, and I think I nodded off for like 5 minutes, and it's just like middle of the day, cool, go out, sleep, sweet. Now I feel awesome. So I don't necessarily believe in like the 7 to 9 hours. You go to sleep, but they do that. Hey, whatever works for you and your mission, whatever works for you. So I like challenging myself. I feel the best when I wake up super early, and that's just what works for me. That's part of my mission. If you want to sleep more, great. Now, so there you have it. There's the 3 phases of sleep, which Walker gets into in his book. Now I'm going to give you my 3 that I learned and implemented and worked incredibly well, not just for me, but for my clients when I was a PT, and still now. I have some health consultations and clients dealing with health challenges that I help them with. You want to break your sleep down into these 3 things and either track them or do a reflection, do a stock take of how these 3 things are for you. So first thing is consistency. Are you consistently going to bed and waking up at the same time? Now, in a perfect world, you go to sleep around 10 and you wake up around 6, or according to the sunrise and sunset, you usually want to be sleeping when it's dark, if you can. So how consistent are you? Because some people work nights, some people work late, some people have to wake up early. It's literally better to get 6 hours, and other sleep experts will back me up on this. It's literally better to get 6 hours of sleep consistently. So let's say you can only sleep from midnight to 6 a.m. It's better to do that every single day than it is to get 9 hours, 9 hours, 9 hours, 3 hours, 9 hours, 12 hours, 1 hour, 14 hours, fucking all-nighter, 2 hours, like, you know what I mean? So because your brain gets into a pattern. Your brain recognizes what it needs, and it's kind of your brain is learning how to sleep. You have something in your brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, which is the governor and all like the master controller for all of the cells in your body. The suprachiasmatic nucleus. Wow, what an awesome word. It's connected and controls all of the cells in your body. It's the switch for the circadian rhythm in your body, right? So consistent. So why is that important? Well, if you get into a routine of going to sleep at 10 a.m. every single night, it's your body clock, your circadian rhythm. So at 10 p.m., you're going to get tired. So and then at 6 a.m., you're going to feel energized, right? So consistency. What's your consistency? How can I get more consistent? Number 2 is the quantity. How much sleep are you getting? Are you getting 2 hours every night? Are you getting 14 hours every night? Are you getting how much sleep do you average? What's the quantity? The third one is the quality. How many times are you waking up during the night? Are you going to the toilet? Are you tossing and turning? I had one client once. She got up in the middle of the night and drank fucking Pepsi. I'm like, what the? I mean, I didn't say this to her, but in my head, I'm like, what the fuck? What? You get up in the middle of the night and you drink one of the most caffeinated drinks. And so I politely told her, oh, I wonder what would happen if you tried it without the Pepsi, huh? And she stopped drinking it. Oh, what do you know? She slept better. Oh my God. So, okay. So you want at least 2. So if you can't get the quality, at least get consistency and quantity. If you can't get the consistency, at least get the quality and the quantity. See what I mean? If you can't get the quantity, like me, so because I'm not getting the quantity, my consistency and my quality needs to be like 10 out of 10, right? So before I go to sleep, I make sure, and he talks about this in the book as well, make sure that if you do want to get a good night's sleep, you're turning off anything that might stimulate your brain. So if I read a philosophy book, or if I go on social media and do business stuff, if I'm if I exercise after like 3 p.m., I just fucking can't sleep. I mean, maybe that's something I made up in my head, but anything that's going to stimulate you. So it's not just the light, the blue light that's coming through. It's the operant conditioning, what's the fucking salivating, the Pavlov dog of every time I pick up, ooh, notification. Ooh, like someone's liked it. Ooh, funny video. Hey, oh, cool picture. So every time you pick up your phone, you're getting all those past perceptions and memories. You've been conditioned to be happy and stimulated. Who picks up their phone most of the time and gets super fucking depressed, right? Maybe some people, but so it's not just the blue light from your phone, it's what that represents to your brain. So be very aware of doing certain things, or anything that's going to stimulate you and hype you up. I think it's best to avoid. It's wise to avoid that, an hour, 2 hours before bed. I find that really helps me. And then what I do at night, I don't think he talks about this. I haven't heard Matthew Walker say this, but there's a guy called James Nestor who's all about the breath and nasal breathing. Now, I could do a whole week-long course on breathing. If you've known me for a while, I used to wear these nose strips from Eugene Teo, where stretch your nose out. So even if you just get your fingers and you put them under your nose next to under your eyes next to your nose, and you just pull your fingers to open up. I don't know if you hear that. You pull your sort of nose open and you breathe and you're like, whoa, I can really breathe in through your nose. So when you breathe in through your nose, you're filtering. It's like Puritap. When you're breathing in through your nose, it's balancing out the oxygen and the carbon dioxide in your body. When you open your mouth, your brain thinks I'm either talking or I'm eating. So it's a stress response. Breathing in through the nose is a calming response. when you breathe in through your nose, you're activating the diaphragm. The diaphragm is connected to your lymphatic system. The only thing that drains your lymphatic system is movement and breathing. If you're breathing, you're ticking one off the box. So I always used to do, and I still do, nasal breathing cardio, flush out all the toxins in you. But that's a whole nother video. But there is like, I mean, it helps with your jaw development and how you eat. It helps with your immune system, because as you're breathing in through your nose, there's all those nose like particle things as you're going through. There's like, yeah, so crazy benefits for nasal breathing. So what the fuck are you talking about? Tape your mouth shut. I know it sounds insane, but I go to the chemist. It's called micropore tape. At first, when I first tried it, I do duct tape, but that didn't work out so well. It actually doesn't work because after a while, the sweat makes it fall off. So it's actually not that big a deal to do duct tape. But micropore tape it across your mouth, and just try it whilst you're awake first, and just put it over your mouth and just see what it's like. And then if your nose is really blocked, you might get a nose strip too. But I've found staying awake, so getting the consistency, the quality, and the quantity, making sure that I'm inspired through the day and I'm taking action towards things that are inspiring me. I'm challenging my mental, physical, and spiritual. I'm pursuing my financial goals, my vocational career goals. I'm sharing a message. I'm putting out content into the world. I'm sharing my love with my family. I'm doing all of these things throughout the day to build up my sleep pressure, make me tired, challenge myself, test myself through the day so I can get ready for rest, avoid stimulation 1 to 2 hours before sleep, take my mouth shut, maybe do some meditation, maybe reflect on the day, do some gratitude. Bang, you're going to have the best fucking sleep of your life. You're going to wake up so inspired, so grateful. Last night was actually, I had a vision of a goal. Yesterday, when I was doing my yoga class, I had a vision that I was standing on top of the podium. I just won a gold medal at the Olympics for a 10K open water swims. Like, what the fuck? That's fucking crazy. And I had tears of gratitude like flowing down my face throughout the whole fucking class. And I was like, wow, I want to be a fucking like a legendary fucking swimmer. Like, how cool would that be? He's come from, he never swum before in his life, and then he's come and won a gold medal. Like, wow, that's amazing. How cool is that? So last night, all the other nights, I've been so fucked throughout the day, as you could imagine. I've been up for like 20 hours that I'll just be like, oh, fuck it. I'm just going to watch YouTube. I want to make YouTube videos, so I'm just going to watch YouTube and I'll fall asleep. Kind of like, what do you call it? Numbing myself with YouTube videos, laying in bed so I can fall asleep. No, there's nothing wrong with that. It's but I don't think it was most productive for me. But now I had this new inspiring goal, and I was like, wow, I can't get away with anything now. I need to be so on point. So instead, last night I did like 20 minutes of meditation. And then I kept my headphones on because I was falling asleep as I was meditating. So whenever I start falling asleep from the meditation, I start stretching and foam rolling, like laying on the ground. So I'm still kind of meditating. Gone into bed, woke up, and I was laying in my bed. And this is like such a fucking life hack. Try and remember and go through every single thing that happened from the moment you woke up to the moment you went to bed. Just replay all the events in your head and say thank you to all the awesome things that happened through the day. Then go to the next day and be like, okay, what am I doing tomorrow? First thing when I wake up, what am I doing? I'm going on my computer, I'm working on my mission, I'm planning out my week, I'm figuring out what books I need to read, I'm figuring out what people I need to talk to, I'm figuring out when my running event's going to be, I'm figuring out what time I need to run at and when I'm going to swim and I'm figuring out, and just like, I mean, that kind of sounds crazy, but in your head, you're thinking, oh, wow, I have something to get up for. So many people don't have any fucking reason to get out of bed. Why do you think you're not sleeping? You don't have any fucking reason. I would any time I don't have a reason, I fucking stay in bed all day. Well, not so much anymore because the dog starts barking. Maybe for you kids. But yeah, it's like if you have a why, then it creates a how. That vision that came to me even if it is fucking out there and crazy, it inspired me to take action towards. So I don't think that goals are there to achieve the goal. Goals are made so that it can inspire you in the present to be your most inspired self. I might say tomorrow, I want to win a gold medal in golf. Cool. As long as it's inspiring me, as long as it's making me feel, because the world revolves around me, I want to feel the best, right? If it's making you, if you say you're going to do something, if you set a goal and it's inspiring you and it's making you feel productive and meaningful, and you're on purpose and you're on a mission and you're working towards this vision and you can see all the details in your head, then who the fuck is anyone else to tell you that it's not okay, it's not right? If you want to sleep 4 hours a night, if you want to sleep 14 hours a night, who fucking cares? Remove the guilts and the shames and the bullshit that other people project onto you. Be yourself. Figure out what areas of life do I want to focus on? How do I integrate all of my goals into one mission and one purpose? And how do I what's the highest priority action that I can take tomorrow to move you closer towards those goals? What possible obstacles may come up for me and how do I solve them in advance? Who can I delegate my lower priorities to in order to be most efficient and productive? You know, what's the greatest things that I can fill my mind with? What's the best food that I can fill my body with? What's the best exercise that I can do to calm my spirit? You know, asking yourselves the quality of the questions determines the quality of your life. So, I mean, I was meant to talk about this While We Sleep book, but seem to have diverged onto a more holistic approach towards life, which I think sleep, fucking number one. Sleep is literally the most powerful. Sleep is the lazy man's journaling. Sleep is the lazy man and woman's version of dealing with their emotions. Most people don't want to deal with their emotions during the day because it's too scary. So at night, you have nightmares and you finally deal with it. So deal with your nightmares during the day, fucking balance those emotions out, but you only do it if you have a stronger reason. So get the reason, get the what's my purpose? Ask yourself these hard questions. Read the Tao Te Ching, you know. Chat to Mitch. Watch more content. Ask me some questions. Anyway, that's Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. Subscribe.